Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. It is summer day 29, which brings us to our summer crop festival. Now, normally we win this festival with our eyes closed and our hands tied behind our back. Hasn't been a problem so far, but unfortunately, that awesome winning streak is about to come to an end because I actually do not have a high enough quality onion to be able to win this festival. Now, it would have been great to hop in a time machine and see what Ganon's quality maker cost just to be able to win this, but A, I don't think that's very practical, and B, I honestly don't think I can afford that. I think that was way above my pay grade. And I've done pretty much everything that I can think of to increase the quality of this onion, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. So, my onions matured and came in and were ready to pick on the day of the fishing contest. So they've been in the ground for a total of 6 days, and the longer you leave matured crops in the ground, the longer that they have to increase in quality. So matured crops can stay in the ground for up to 10 days before they die, or until they reach too much sun or water. It's basically whatever one of those two comes first. So I've left them and I've left them and I've left them, and apparently 6 out of 10 total days sitting in the ground was just not enough. So I think that's maybe just a word of warning to other people. If you're coming up on the crop festival in year 3 and you need an onion, I would leave them in the ground for a minimum of a week, if possible. And what I would recommend doing is, if you're not sure about the quality of the crop, I would pick one out of the ground and then see what the quality is. And if it isn't as high as you want it, then I would just leave it. And you can always save your game before you go to bed. And then if your crops have died in the morning, well, unfortunately, you're gonna have to try again, start over and try again. But if not, then you can keep these crops in the ground and just wait and wait and wait until you get the right quality that you want. And I don't know if it's me or if it's just onions in general, but for some reason, onions always tend to come in at B quality, no matter what I do, no matter where I plant it. And I've tried different things. I tried giving it more water while it was matured and just sitting in the ground, and that didn't seem to help. The only thing that sort of seems to help is just time. And the other crop I have found this to be the case with is pumpkins. And there's a few other examples, like with tomatoes and corn, for example. I seem to sort of get a bit of a mixed result, where some of the crops on the stalk are A quality and some of them that I pick are B quality. And there is no way in this game to use fertilizer. There's no upgrade to your field. I mean, there's none of that. So it's just sort of one of those strange things where I don't quite know why that happens, but for me, onions always sort of seem to be at a lower quality. And I did know that that was going to happen, which is why I had been leaving them for 6 days, but Apparently 6 days just wasn't long enough. So if anyone has played this game and they have any suggestions, or, you know, they don't have the same problem that I do, then it would be great to hear about. I gotta mosey on over there because it's already 4 p.m. And I mean, I can get myself some wonderful pieces. We were having such a wonderful winning streak up until these last few festivals, and then it all just kind of fell apart. Unfortunately. And the other thing that stinks too is that we're going into fall, so the weather is changing. And I would have won myself a useful wonderful. I would have gotten myself a green. But we'll just have to try again next season. And hope that we have better luck. We do have a few festivals in the fall season that we can compete in order to get wonderfuls. Not nearly as many as in the summertime. I think the summer probably has the most festivals of any season on the calendar. But I hope that there is still some hope for us yet. We're gonna have to grow her some yams, and if it's not too rainy, then that shouldn't be a problem. I'll probably grow a bunch of yams and space out when I've planted them, so that we don't run into the problem of them dying. Honestly, hasn't been a problem yet. I don't think I've actually managed to kill any yams in the previous 2 years so far. But now we are back at the house, and I've been doing updates throughout, so I don't have a lot to cover at the end of the season, I don't think, just because there's been so few exciting things going on that we've sort of been keeping track of things like what we've been shipping and the money we've been making and all of those sorts of things. So you can see that my money total is back to a very, very high amount. We dropped it significantly by doing a bunch of upgrades this season for our maker shed. But you can see that we've made a great comeback. The fruits have certainly helped, because fruits do sell for quite a bit of money, and that has been very, very consistent. We've also been consistently shipping out animal goods and other crops as well. So money has not really been so much of an issue. I was able to bring myself back from all that money I spent, similar to how I did in the springtime. We had a very similar experience in the spring, where I was spending a lot, but then I did actually manage to make that money back. You can see that I'm up to 312 pieces of lumber, which can be used for another future upgrade, I hope. We are just waiting for the dark green Harvest Sprite team to return. We have also had really great luck with the wild animals this season. The ducks helped us win in the fishing contest, and the monkeys have brought us back quite a bit of golden lumber, despite the fact that their friendship is still relatively low. All of the animals have been awesome. We managed to win our chicken festival, and we said hello to new animals on our farm as well. We got ourselves a new sheep and a new cow. We also got some sunstones this month. We got a sunstone from our cows, from our sheep, and then also from our cat. And then I'm just gonna scroll on over to our shipped list. Really quick, you can see that we managed to bring the totals of tomatoes and corn shipped past 100. These were actually lower than 100 from previous years, so I've managed to ship a decent amount of corn and tomatoes. We've shipped lots and lots of onions, and even though our amount of pumpkins shipped is still very, very low, I managed to grow 6 squares of them and get those all shipped off successfully, which is great, because we need to grow and ship 100 pumpkins total in order to unlock some crops, which is why I wanted to grow more of those, which I did. And then if we scroll down to our summer fruit, you can see that we made some pretty decent progress. So in between the peach trees and the banana trees alone, we managed to ship about 60% of what we needed towards our summer tree sunstone, which is pretty good. That is taking into consideration that we were down 2 trees because our 2 orange trees had died. Assuming that we are in the same place next year, even if our orange trees died again, or even if we lost a banana tree or something, if we had the same amount of trees that we did this year, next year, we should be able to get that summer tree sunstone. And I had sort of predicted that these tree sunstones were going to take me about 2 years, and we're gonna have to see how we do in fall. Fall makes me a little bit nervous because the apples and the grapes take a little bit longer to come in than the summer fruits do, and we are also still short quite a few because we're still waiting for our apples to regrow and we're waiting for a grape tree. So we'll have to see how that ends up turning out, but we made some really great progress with these summer trees. And then just having a quick look at some of our totals for our makers. I'm obviously trying to get the cheese maker sunstone first, and then we're going to move on to yogurt and butter using our milk from our cows. And then we've made some decent progress with our yarn maker, and I hope that the progress on these will speed up a little bit more now that we have 1 more of each animal. So I'm going to be getting 1 more milk every single day, which should speed things up, I hope. And then every few days we're going to be getting some more yarn, or some more wool that I can turn into yarn rather. And I think that that's pretty much it. I think every other landmark that happened this month I've covered. Obviously, fall is going to be very exciting for us because our baby should be coming at the end of fall, which is very exciting stuff. And yeah, we have a whole new slew of festivals to enjoy. And I'm probably going to be very, very busy with crop care. I usually go crazy with growing stuff in the fall season, so I hope that it all turns out for the best. Summer was a mixed bag. We were on fire with our festivals. We were on a super great roll until the end of the month here when things sort of started to fall apart, but we do have a few festivals in the fall time. And I think I'm ready to leave summer behind. I'm ready to get onto some new scenery and a bit of a change of pace. So I will probably just finish up the last day of summer on my own. I plan to clear out the field, so I still have some onions tomorrow that I'm gonna have to pick. And then I'm gonna have to take my sickle to my crops here. I've gotten my last harvest of tomatoes and corn. And then I need to clear out the rest of the field from our last storm and make room for some more room that we can plant some crops in. So that is my plan, and I hope that I will be returning on the first day of the fall season so that we can start things out there and see what sort of changes we have to look forward to. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.